Well, I do gotta say I was wrong. I thought the Rays would sell, maybe let go of a few names like an Eflin, and then maybe like a Rosario or something like that. But they did way more, as we all know, a lot more. Fan favorite players, up and coming players. It's been a while since they've done this because the Rays have been so competitive every year. So this trade deadline where they just sell like this, it hasn't been a thing. They would still make Rays type moves, but like this to this caliber, no. It's been a while. The fan base honestly seems pretty split about the decisions, and they were big decisions, so you can't expect everyone to just agree with these massive decisions. You got the one side where they're just tired. They're just tired. They're tired of the Rays building up these players, making them, all-star caliber and just really big pieces in the clubhouse. And then selling them off for prospects and doing the same thing over and over. The cycle continues. And then you have the side that still trusts this front office. They've made plenty of wins on their trades in the past. The Rays have been competitive for a pretty long time now at this point. You look at winning percentage-wise, it's like the Rays and the Dodgers up there at the top. It's just, unfortunately, no rings to show for it. And that's what matters most. I'd probably lean towards that side of the fan base, but I'm still a fan. So getting a notification at 1:30 in the morning that Randy Arozarena has been traded, it sucks. It stings, but I do think the Rays have a plan here. What, comes to fruition out of it, it's tough to tell because so much of the return was just prospects. Prospects with a lot of potential, but they're still prospects, and you don't know what the future holds. The Rays did sell big time, but they did not, completely clean house. They did not completely, put this fire sale out there. There were teams calling about Yandy Diaz or Brandon Lau. If the Rays were completely cleaning house, they would have just given them up for whatever was being offered. But clearly, whatever they were being offered wasn't enough, and they decided to keep a Yandy, keep a Brandon Lau. So there has to be a plan, because it wasn't just like, get rid of all of our big-name players. Let's get just young prospects in return, and we just hope for the best. They have to, have a plan, and this front office has proven time and time again that they know what they're doing when it comes to these trades, and they have an eye for talent. The evidence proves itself. So for the side of the fan base that is just tired of this, I understand. So throughout this video, I'll try and unpack all of the moves the Rays did, and hopefully you can get some sense of understanding of why they did it. Obviously, just believe it when you see it type of thing. I completely understand it, and it stinks. You're not going to see it immediately. All these prospects, whether it's hitting, pitching, starters, bullpen, whatever it may be, you're not going to see them this year. So that's just the reality. So starting off with Randy Arozarena, already gave him his own video, deservedly so. Just very quickly, I do like the return. Brody Hopkins is an insane, just athletic freak is what I'm hearing. Just 20 years old and should be exciting what he can bring to the table. Zach Eflin, buddy, what are you doing? Pitches once in Baltimore and just takes a shot at the Rays. Talking about, the atmosphere at the Trop and it doesn't feel like Tampa. Like, yes, you're not wrong. But did you have to say that? You're from the area. You grew up going to the Trop. You understand the situation of the Trop, the location, just all of the things that make the race issues an issue. You had to say that? All right. Goodbye. See ya. In return, right-handed pitcher Jackson Baumeister, outfielder Matthew Etzel, outfielder Mac Horvath. None of these guys are like Baltimore's top prospects, but the biggest win is getting $18 million off the books next season. Whether it was at this trade deadline or in the offseason, I think Eflin was gone no matter what. They got something for it. I'll take it. He really wasn't pitching all that great this season, and just how 2025 is looking with that rotation, they really didn't need him. When you see McClanahan coming back, Jeff Springs coming back, Taj, Pepio, Boz, they don't really need him. Then went Jason Adam. This was actually a surprise, but this was also a surprise in terms of, wow, we got all of that back in return? Yes, all prospects, but even not being someone who pays that much attention to prospects in minor league baseball and stuff like that, I know the name Dylan Lesko, and the Rays, they got a return. A lot of talent there with Dylan Lesko. I know he's going through some struggles right now, just not being able to find the strike zone, but the potential is there, and he immediately comes the Rays' top pitching prospect in their system. So that's a big deal. Yes, Jason Adam, sucks to lose him. All-star caliber, I would say, reliever, but you trade, a guy that pitches in the 8th inning and get a prospect like Dylan Lesko, and then outside of him, outfielder Homer Bush, and a nice catching prospect in J.D. Gonzalez. That is a fantastic return. Yes, they're all prospects, but that's, you got to take that when that gets offered to you. That's probably the most value in terms of giving up Jason Adam, 32-year-old reliever, and getting back those three guys. Big boost. And then it's official. It's a Paredes inside my city. The era's over. All I wanted to see was Isaac Paredes hit an opposite field home run in a Rays uniform. I wanted to see it one time. Just once, and we're not going to get it, unfortunately. Isaac Paredes, all-star Isaac Paredes. I will never disrespect Isaac Paredes like that. Traded to the Chicago Cubs and traded for Christopher Morel. They have made it very obvious that they were looking at Christopher Morel for a long time. They've wanted to find a way to get Christopher Morel on this team, and this was their opportunity, and they took it. So Morel, along with Hunter Bidgie, who is, by the way, pumping 100 miles per hour from the bullpen, and then right-handed pitcher prospect Ty Johnson. But just speaking on Morel a little bit, I know we've seen him already. The most immediate impact player, obviously, trading all-star like Paredes, you hope to get an immediate impact guy. In return, Morel, same age as Paredes, but he fits the Rays very well, and you see the power. 2 home runs already in this very short period of time with the Rays. It's a special type of power. It's a special type of bat speed, and I understand why the Rays wanted him. You can see it. 420-foot home run in his first game. He looks like he's already, making friends on the team. Jose Siri and him seem to get along very well, and, both their personalities, what I've already seen from Christopher Morel, it makes sense why they'd be best friends. His glove is not great, but it's okay. Throw him at second base. If you need to throw him in the outfield, you can. Plenty of games where the Rays have thrown Harold Ramirez out there in the outfield and have survived, so throwing Morel out there in the outfield when need be will be fine, but we've seen him play second base so far with his time with the Rays, and it hasn't been too bad. And then, of course, I'm not in the camp that said Isaac Paredes was blocking Junior Caminero from being brought up. I think there's a way to work around that, whether it be Paredes going to first, Yandy going DH, or Paredes second, Lau taking the day off, whatever, you could have made it work. I do not believe that he was blocking Junior from getting that call up. I don't. But there is a very obvious opening now at that third base spot. And that's where Junior's going to go. And it will happen this season. And probably will happen very soon because Junior is lighting it up in the minors. A couple days ago, it was like a one-handed swing pretty much. And it just carries out. And it's just like, wow. It's that special type of power. And him, along with Morel, that is some major power we have not seen in a Rays lineup in a long time. Both of those guys together, we've needed power for a long time. Front office knows it, and they made the move for it. Next up, really quickly here, Ahmed Rosario traded back to LA 2 years in a row. This guy's got traded at the deadline to LA, which honestly, not a bad gig. This time for right-handed pitcher Michael Flynn. Sean Armstrong traded right before the deadline closed to St. Louis for outfielder Dylan Carlson, a guy who just hasn't really lived up to what was expected of him. Hopefully this change of scenery can provide some better opportunities, some better chances, and he can take advantage of it and become, what was expected at one point. And then Tyler Zuber to the Mets for Paul Gravasse. Not sure how to pronounce that last name, but I do know that this guy is 6'10", and he, could play power forward for the Orlando Magic probably if he felt like it. Why I'm not, up in arms about these massive moves, like I said, the prospects, the returns were fantastic. Let me turn on a light. It looks like it's getting a little dark. And yes, even though they're all prospects and there's not an immediate impact player from that group of prospects, there are immediate impact players coming. I guess they're not immediate if they're on the way, but you look at Jason Adam leaves, who's coming in soon? Drew Rasmussen. Zach Eflin leaves, who's coming in soon? Jeffrey Springs. Isaac Paredes leaves, who's coming in soon? Junior. Arozarena leaves, who comes in? Chris Morel. And that's just why all of these people are going to be coming in and can play similar roles to the guys of the past now. And then you have this load of prospects that you got for moving these guys. I see why the Rays did this, and I see their plan here. I think they were all pretty good moves. I can't lie. It hurts losing Rosarena and Paredes, even Jason Adam, a very high leverage guy who we've relied on for a while now. And while it hurts, I get it. I see the vision, like a line between two dots, baby. And a lot of money saved as well. Not that that really matters to us as fans, but you save money. Going into the offseason, you hope to see it reinvested. Pick up another bat. Pick up another bullpen arm or whatever they need to do. Make a move. That's something that would frustrate me, is if they saved all this money and then don't reinvest any of it back into the team in the offseason. That would, rub me the wrong way a little bit. But I can say that I'm happy with the moves. Trade deadline was Tuesday. It's Friday when I'm recording this. I feel good about it. I'm not saying, oh my gosh, we're going to make the playoffs this year. This team just got so much better right now. But think about it. What has this team done in the playoffs the last 2 years? Do we think this team was going to make the playoffs this year? Do we think this team next year was going to win the World Series? I don't think this was some sell it all. The Rays are going to go on a huge downfall and then have to wait years and years for these prospects to come up and then they'll start getting better. I don't think that's not the situation here. So I'm all good with it. Done rambling. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave your comments down below on this trade deadline. A ton happened. Let me know your thoughts. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you have not already. Go Rays. Y'all have a blessed one.